All right, folks, we're back with the NL East. Tom's on what, about your sixth shot or so?
Hey, I'm a sipper these days.
Thursdays is your night, huh? That's when you get weird?
Well, a lot of people do dry January. What I do is I pour a shot at about 9 o'clock Central Time, and it's now 11:25 Central Time, and it's still there. That's my dry January, yeah.
I did a similar thing last night. I had just done a ton of late night projects, and then I got to a point where I was like, I'm going to have a gummy, and I'm going to have a shot of Tullamore, and I watched Tommy Boy, and I just died laughing the whole time. I forget how great it is. It's unbelievable, and not just a comedy. It's a great, the whole premise is great.
Oh yeah,
and I just heard a story from Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade about Brian Dennehy, because those guys were new to movies, and then they're like, "Oh, Brian Dennehy's coming in," and then director would have them do like a million takes, and I guess at one point Dennehy's like, "We got it, hey kid, we got it," after like 2 or 3 takes, and then David Spade was like, "Are you allowed to say that to directors?" Because like he said Farley would just do 100 of them back to back to back,
yeah.
like somehow
just
had the energy
the dream.
for it.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, here we go. Here, let's start with a fun, polarizing team. The New York Mets, 91.5. 81.5 last year, which they went over. The big one, obviously, Juan Soto losing Alonso.
Maybe losing.
Oh,
Alonso.
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I didn't even really think about that.
To me, they gave Juan Soto like $700 million, right? So you would think you won 89 games last year without him. So if you're going to give a player $700 million, wouldn't you expect that like win total to go up more than just 2.5?
That was something I thought.
Or is it the whole like losing Alonso thing where it's like, well, then it evens out?
Yeah, because like if you look at pitching, I mean, like you lost Severino and brought in Montas. Mm-hmm. Severino a little better, maybe, but like that's not for sure. And I mean, now that Medaya made some money, I don't know. I'd be worried about that guy because he's been so up and down.
He's gonna get crushed.
What do you think about Clay Holmes moving to starter?
It's an interest. I think it's a take. When I heard that they were going to do that to Michael King, I was like, good luck. You guys are hurting. And we talked a couple shows ago about how that's blossomed for the Padres. So I think you got to give it just a couple of starts. But to me, there's a lot of maybes there. That's
a tough one. For me, I'm not 100% sold on that. One I am sold on, though, our Atlanta Braves, 94.5, 101.5 last year. Obviously did not come in, got crushed by injuries. Brian Dela Cruz, they bring in, whatever. He's fine. He's nice at the end of a potent lineup. You lose Fried, which is a big one. Mm-hmm. Will Chris Sale be the same? They're saying Strider might not be back till more like late May, June. And then that Ian Anderson guy coming back is kind of nice. He was good a few years ago. So what's your initial take on the 94.5 Braves?
I wouldn't lock them. If anything, I'd be a wild card over or under. It's interesting that the number is that high because there is a lot of talent there, even without like mentioning Strider or Acuna coming back. You have the Matt Olson, Austin Riley. Yet you have these Michael Harris. You've got the Albies. You have so much talent in that lineup, but still, you don't get Strider back for a couple of months. Is that number reachable? Like maybe you're getting 90 wins and you're sneaking into the postseason at the end. Like you're getting hot at the end, but I think the first 2 months of the season are really telling.
Yeah, they're going to go in with Sale, Ronaldo, Lopez, Schwellenbach, Grant Holmes, Ian Anderson. Yeah, that's pretty weak for them considering everything. It's even when they had like Charlie Morton and stuff, there was always something there at the back.
Mm-hmm. If that number is like 88 and a half, maybe it's like, oh yeah, I'll take the over. But it's like there's so many what ifs there. Acuna now, that's 2 knees. It's not like that's his first one. He'll be fine.
I was thinking you were going to say something about Marcelo Zuna signing such a nice, easy deal, like something about he must really love his lawyer in Atlanta or something like that.
Well, I was going to say it's a lot easier to take less money after you have a second awakening maybe, or like a second chance at things. It's like, you know what? I actually do just want to focus on nothing but baseball.
Right. Please, yeah. All right, Phillies, 91.5, 89.5 last year went over. They definitely got on a hell of a streak there. I think it was the beginning of the year. Died off a little bit. Nothing major lineup-wise. The rotation's pretty much the same. They brought in Luzardo as a 5. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Nothing crazy. And then
so you don't like Luzardo? I think that is the steal of the century.
Oh,
I think
I
that
love
is
it.
the under the radar pickup. He has potential to be an all-star. Like, he puts everything together. And again, everywhere he's gone, it's been like, hey, you're the ace. Now
Yeah.
you're like the number 4 or like the number 5, like you're saying.
That's true. A lot less pressure on him.
A lot of that stuff doesn't work out. The Painter kid should be coming back. They're like their number 1 prospect. That kid's the real deal. I think, whether or not you want to say lineup, rotation, bullpen is all right, but they, they'll make trades if they have to.
They will. They'll spend money. Washington 69.5. Last year was 65.5. They went over. Not a whole lot to say about them. They've definitely got some young, exciting players for sure.
Can I find out who C.J. Abrams is betting on first before I make my
right.
pick?
He's. I'm super pumped with Dylan Cruz. I think most everybody is. Besides the steals and him and Abrams at the top, and of course they brought back old reliable Josh Bell for his 6th stint on the Nats. Pitcher-wise, a little up in the air after Gore, Jake Irvin, Mitchell Parker. That's obviously not going to be very impressive in a division like that. I don't know. I think it's a stay away, but I'd probably lean under. There still needs to be a story about why all these guys wanted to leave Washington. Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of them wanted to stay, right? Who re-upped? Did any of them re-up?
No.
I mean, oh man, did they?
I mean, Strasburg just fizzled out. So he got hurt. It's not like
they got hosed on that one.
Else,
I think he got hurt first year in that crazy new contract after the World Series. But they didn't have a choice after how good he was in the World Series. But all right, and then finally, we don't spend much time at all on the old Miami Marlins. There is literally no news on this team, minus Alcantara maybe getting traded.
It literally is a glorified AAA team. I'm not going to say they're going to be White Sox bad, but they win 50-some games tops. I
mean, I watch a lot of baseball and do fantasy baseball and everything. I think Jesus Sanchez might be the only guy I've ever heard of in that lineup. I'm not joking.
I've never heard of half these guys.
This guy's dead.
See, but again, you get rid of Luzardo. Like I think he was hurt last year, but he does have like the chops to be like a big league pitcher, and a good big league pitcher. But the rest of those guys on there, you would just have to hope that 4 of these guys just catch and just start having like these breakout rookie seasons.
But I feel like they would trade them if they did.
Right.
All right, let's do our locks. I know you said you like the Phils. Are you going to go Phillies over?
Absolutely.
Okay, Phillies over. Who else you like as your other lock?
I think the Marlins under is the other lock. I'm telling you, that's going to be like a 54-55 win team. They just don't have anybody.
Yeah.
I don't even think they brought their manager back. Skip Schumacher? Did he take him to the postseason 2 years ago? And they're like, all right, well, that was fun. Thank you.
I think they got the Dodgers first base coach, who's been there for like 3 years, so that's going to be an interesting.
And we don't even know his name, so we don't know anybody's
it's
name.
Clayton something. So you got who's going to be your wild card there? You think if you had to go with a third pick?
The wild card, I would say the Mets under.
Okay, those are 2 fun ones. Though all 3 of those bets are fun. All right, so I'm going over Phillies with you. I'm also going to take a shot with the Braves. Although that number is higher than I thought it was supposed to be, I'm going to do the old reverse psychology and say it must be there for a reason. Take the over on that. And then I'm going to go under on Miami, too, just because I think that's a really fun one. That might be a real wager as well, I think, because watching teams who stink, who don't even care, it's pretty enjoyable. All right, well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate all your time on the National League here. Any closing thoughts? You having another kid? What's happening?
No, not at all. I just think, living in California and Florida, you're like, baseball season's right around the corner. And when you live in Wisconsin, you're like, man, I cannot wait for baseball.
Yeah, Packers
like,
lose,
it really
and now
is
you're
one
like,
of those things.
Right, yeah.
Well, no, it's just the weather. You're just like, okay, baseball. I know what baseball means. All right, boys of summer. Here we go. Come on.
Right. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for all your time, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.